Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this is going to be my first tutorial. In today's video we're going to be doing a deep side part ponytail. So yeah, let's just jump right into this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, because we're just going up from here, and that's on what period. Okay, so right now, as you can see, I just asked my client what side does she want her swoop to be on, and as of right now I'm just parting the hair, and you can see that I'm not parting it straight back. I'm doing more so of like a curve part, so the ponytail, so the swoop in the front could be more on her, like her forehead, rather than just being straight back. Yeah, so it's gonna take me a minute to do a couple of these parts to find out like where I really want the part to be. So after I get the part and see where I want it to be, I'm gonna section my hair into 4. As you can see, the first section that I'm doing is right here on the side. That would not be a part of the swoop. And then I'm gonna section off the other side that is a part of the swoop. Get that part in neat or whatever, so how I want it to be. Then I'm gonna move on to section off the back. When I section off the back, I'm gonna section it into 2 because we do flat ponies over here, and that's just that. So when I section it into 2, I'm gonna begin to start to mold the ponytail. For my ponytails, I use Got To Be Free spray, and as you can see right now, I'm just using my tail comb, my metal tail comb, to just comb down the hair, taking a free spray, combing it as I go to get it as flat as possible. Then I'm going in with my blow drying just to get it dry, because you want the hair to be as hard as possible. Also, we're working with free spray, you got to be as quick. So now I'm doing the same thing to the top that I just did to the bottom, the layer that's going to cover it. Once again, you want your hair to be sleek as possible, so use as much free spray as you got to use. Then I'm going to move on to the side that the swoop is not on. I prefer to use the side that the swoop isn't on. I don't know, it just feels better that way. I'm pulling out some of her edges because you don't want your edges to be in it before you use the free spray, because I'm telling you, honey, that would be stuck. Sectioning off any sideburns. I asked my client if she wants sideburns. She said it doesn't matter, so I just did that. So I'm sectioning off her edges from the rest of the hair that I'm going to leave out from the rest of the hair, and taking out the little gap for the sideburns. I feel like in this style I left a little bit too much hair out, but yeah, it still came out cute, so it doesn't matter. So these masks be getting me so tight when I be doing hair, y'all. I don't think y'all understand. All in the airway. So I'm going to begin to do the same thing that I did to the back. I'm trying to get it as sleek as possible, and I'm going to go in with my free spray, same way I did to the back, because like okay, now so when I finish this side that I just did, I'm going to move on to the next side. I'm just using the same exact method that I did to the back and to the side before, to this same side, getting it as sleek as possible, going with my blow dryer and my comb, just getting it flat. Yeah, so you really just have to do the same thing around the whole head. So after I do that, I'm trying to gather the hair all together. As I'm gathering the hair together, I'm taking my comb as well, just so to prevent from any gaps happening. So I'm taking my comb and trying to flatten as much, spraying a little bit of free spray, blowing it down for any hairs that's sticking up. Okay, now that all the hair is back into the ponytail, I'm gonna start off with the swoop now. For all my swoops, I add hair to the front just to give it a full effect, because you don't want a thin bang, or a thin swoop. So as you can see, I'm sectioning off the hair. I'm trying to part it as straight as possible. The straighter the better. You don't want to get any glue inside of your client's hair, just because you don't want any hair ripping out or anything. So I'm trying to move the hair in the back away, getting it flat down so the hair could be on the scalp. Like, you want that part to be straight so it's no damaged hair left when you're trying to take this style out. So now I'm gonna go in with the track, and I'm gonna measure how far the part is. You don't want it to be too long, and you don't want it to be too short. So you measuring across. Then I'm gonna take the scissors. I'm gonna cut where I have my finger at, where the part ends. So once that is done, I'm gonna add the glue to the track and begin to glue it down onto my client's scalp. Once again, like I said, you do not want to have glue on the hair because it can fall out. So you want to be as cautious as possible when doing this part. So the same exact process that you was just doing before with the measuring the tracks and gluing it, you're going to do the same thing until you get to the top. And when you get to the top, you just want to make sure that that last track is secured because you don't want no falling tracks when you start to sleek your ponytail. When you get to gluing this last track on, like I said, you want to make sure that this track out of all the tracks is the one that's mainly secured. You want to make sure that all your tracks are secured, but this one has to be. So now you just see me comb in. I'm going to start my sleeking process. Again, I'm doing the same thing that I did to all the sides of the head to the swoop part. I'm starting off with just the main, like the top. You want to get the top as sleek as possible first before you start to move to the swoop. So you're just going to see me blow drying and swooping. All of this is just self-explanatory. Okay, so after the top is molded and hard, you're gonna move on to the actual swoop. So you want to start to curve your swoop. This part I don't really, it's like self-explanatory. You're just doing the same exact thing that you did before. You're spraying your free spray, combing down, and blow drying. That's all you're really doing. You want the swoop to be on the head, like on her forehead. You don't want no lifting swoop. You don't want the swoop to be off her head. This part of the ponytail is the process that takes the longest because when you're doing a ponytail like this that requires a swoop, is like the swoop really makes or breaks the hairstyle. So you want to take your time and make sure that it's as flat as possible. As you can see, my client kept moving her head, which could be a little hard like when doing it, but yeah, so you want to try to tell your client to keep their head as still as possible so the swoop isn't going the other way or any hair sticking up. So now that part is already sleek. So you're going to take the top part of your client's natural hair and you're going to start to do the same thing. You're doing the same exact process that you did to the hair before it to that hair. And like I said, you're just going in with your free spray, spraying, combing, and blow drying. That's all you're doing. Spray, comb, blow dry. Okay, so now that the top and everything is all molded, you want to take your blow dryer and make sure that the hair connecting into the ponytail that is already in a scrunchie is all molded down. So I'm going to take a rubber band just to secure everything in place. You're going to see me wrap the rubber band around a few times just so that the ponytail is tight enough. Now, it might look like the client's ponytail is tight, but I always ask them before I'm done if it's too tight and they tell me no. So now I'm going to begin the part where it's adding hair. So my client wants a long ponytail, so I'm going to add some braiding hair in to make the braid long before I start wrapping the black paper around it. So now that the braid is done, I just put a rubber band at the end of the braid just to secure the braid, and I'm gonna start going around with the black wrap. As I'm wrapping the wrap around, I'm pulling it. You don't want to pull the paper too hard because it is paper, so you don't want it to rip. So yeah, I'm wrapping it around all the way until I get to the bottom. When I get to the bottom is when you're gonna see me fold the braid a little bit so it's not too long but not too short. I'm gonna take another rubber band just to secure the end of the black wrap. Okay, so now that the black wrap is secured around the braid, I'm going to begin the attaching the ponytail process. So for the ponytail, I use the gluing method for all of my ponytails just because it's quicker than sewing it in. And yeah, so I'm just placing the glue on the front piece of the braid, and then I'm going to begin wrapping the hair around and adding glue. So you're just going to continue this whole process until you get to the top of the ponytail where you can't wrap the hair around no more. Okay, so now that the hair is all wrapped up to the top, you're going to take a small piece of your hair and you're gonna try to cover the you're gonna cover the track. So to cover the track, I use the Edge Booster Extreme Hold. It's a new one that they have and it works extremely well, so I'm just gonna use that to get that piece as, like, you know, together and mold it. So I'm just gonna comb it through, make sure that all the hair is together, and just wrap it. So now that attaching the ponytail part is done, I'm gonna move on to the front of the hair. As you can see, I'm just, like, you know, gliding my hands against the swoop because I feel like that part just needed a little bit more free spray. So this is your time to do any touch-ups that you think need to be done to any part of the hair, just to make sure, you know, it's laid. So I'm gonna begin doing the edges. Now, doing the edges, everyone does edges differently, so honestly, the way you sleek your client's edges is up to you. So I'm just gonna speed this part up because, yeah. Okay, so now that the ponytail is done, I'm just adding a black wrap just so it could dry the edges a little bit. You don't have to do this, but I prefer to do it so the edges have stayed in place. Okay, guys, so this is the final look, and you could not tell me that my ponytail is not sleek. Like, show me a piece of hair lifting up. Oh, okay. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and you could comment any ponytail styles that you want to see me try, because we have so much more to come.